Hello everyone and welcome to Harv's World, where we are taking a look at Almost a Farm by Cazz64. Just came out on ModHub for PC, Mac, PS4, and Xbox One. Everybody gets this one also. Now, I missed the map tour on Rustic Acres. Just ran out of time. So many hours in a day. And any of you who have followed my channel know that I have done a lot of streaming on Almost a Farm. Played it extensively. Now, I will say that this version varies distinctly from the version that I was playing. I was basically playing a PC-only version before Cazz was able to get this on ModHub. And I'm sure this has changed quite dramatically, I might add, simply to give access to console players. I know Cazz has been working very hard to get his maps onto ModHub just so that console players will have access to them. And he's done a nice job of getting this in shape. Now, the scenery hasn't changed, the landscape hasn't changed, the fields haven't changed, the sale points haven't changed. Just what you start with has changed. So keep that in mind if you're looking at my Let's Play series, or I'm sorry, my streams on this, that this is a bit different. But console players do have access to it these days. This is your main farmyard. You have got a lot of room here. A lot of room. Tons of space to put your own buildings in. Anything you want to build up. We start with our traditional FS19 farmhouse. Of course, we know by now this farmhouse definitely has a sleep trigger inside. No sense in dealing with that. But let's look at our map, shall we? So if we go in here and just check things out a little bit, this has a nice variety of fields. A very nice variety of fields, all shapes and sizes. Cazz did a very nice job with creating different types of fields for different types of people, I suppose. I guess it depends on what you want. We do have some traditional square fields, but then we also have the misshapen fields and fields that are pushed or that can easily be merged together as long as you know how to take out a tree or two. As far as land prices go, well, they're in the Midland range. Now again, there are smaller fields like field 17 here, 100,000. Field 51, 2 acres for about 58,000. All the way up to, I'd say field 1 is almost our biggest field on this map at 21 acres for $500,000. So there is quite a range. Fairly easy to get going on New Farmer. Not bad at all. There is a biogas plant right down here. That biogas plant will cost you less than $100,000, so the buy-in there is not horrible either. And then one of the things that Cazz does a lot on his maps is he puts tons of placeable areas, so you can see them all around the map. So if you want to build up your own farm anywhere out here, there's lots of space for you to do it. So that's something to keep in mind as well. If you don't want to start on a new farmer, you want to do your own thing, lots of places for placeables. And then this map also has tons of forestry plots on it too. All on the edges. I mean, not just on the edges, but scattered around. And they're not overly priced either. A lot of forestry areas will start running you $2, $3, $4, $500,000. These actually keep it fairly reasonable. I think probably because he's got it broken into some smaller sections. So that's our map. Now, as far as fruits go, as far as crops go, it's all traditional, standard, fare that you would expect from an FS19 map. And then as sale points go, well, we've got Bale Sales, Brianna's Beer and Burgers, Farmer John's Manure, Honest Newall's Mill, It's All Legal Mill, Lucas Garden Center, Port Warehouse, Reliable Rob's Mill, The Sawmill, The Wacky Doo Ranch, Wicked Wicky's Wool, and Zeke's Creamy Dairy. And that's actually really nice. It's nice when there's a lot of competition. That means you've got a better chance of getting a higher price for your crops, or whatever you happen to be selling. For example, cotton or wool. There's two different places that buy the cotton and wool, and that's a very nice feature as well. 3 different places that'll buy your milk. So Cazz has done a very nice job there as well. We do have contracts available, and as you can see, I've just fired up this map, so not many are out there yet, but there are definitely contracts on Almost a Farm. Now, as far as our equipment goes, it's a pretty standard starting garage. We've got the Fendt Favorite, we've got the little Fiat, the Bison, a Farm Tech 14,000 liter trailer, headers for our little Bison. We have a AgroMash plow, Polymag cultivator, the small Amazon seeder, small Amazon planter, Kuhn spreader, Kuhn mower, Vicon tedder, a very small rake, baler, water trailer, front loader equipment, and then we also have just about one of every type of animal pen you can think of. We've got the cow pasture, sheep pasture, chicken coop. We do have a standard grain silo that will hold 100,000 liters. Several easy sheds spread around at different locations that you can utilize, and then of course your farmhouse. So that is our setup on Almost a Farm. Now, as we look around, we can see our standard chicken coop right about here. And again, there is tons and tons of room, and there are some really nice, neat, unique features on this map. Right here at the starting farm, you know, Cazz has built this nice waterfall right here coming down. Adds to the atmosphere. And then up on this little ridge here, also, I always liked this little tunnel here that he's built in. That was one of my favorite features. But then we've got our standard cow pasture up here. And then back here in the corner, this looks like sheep. That is definitely a sheep pasture. So lots of room for your animals already built in. Of course, if you're not interested in animals, don't want to do them, you can always sell these off. No problem there. Now, as we start out, and I did forget to mention this before, but we are starting, like I said, this is our main farmyard. Then we have fields 13, 14, and 15. Good sized fields. Field 15 is almost 10 acres. Just over 9 acres, I should say. And this will get you going quite nicely. In fact, I found fields 13 and 14 easily mergeable and just turned that into one field. But I tend to be a bit of a junkie when it comes to merging fields. I like to do it. That's just me, though. So I have just jumped down here to the shop, picked up the Harv mobile. We'll go for a nice little driving tour around Almost a Farm. Now, one of the things about Almost a Farm that I found that I liked a lot is just it's got a very old school feel to it. This isn't a shop that's brand spanking new and perfectly clean. It's been around for a while. This shop, you know, the repair building here, you can tell that this has been well loved. It's been used a lot. So we'll just cruise around a little bit, let you guys get a look at Cazz's map. One of the things that's really, really nice about this map too is, while we're seeing some main roads here, there's a lot of, you know, back roads. Lots of places you can go to get off the beaten path. This would be our fuel point right here. That is a well-loved fuel point, let me tell you. Lots of old farmhouses. Your sawmill's going to be up here just on the left. Fairly traditional sawmill. You'll have your wood chip sale point right there, and then of course standard timber sales right here, right on a nice little lake. Very nice indeed. And we'll just we'll cut back to the south just a little bit. just so you can see some of these back roads I'm talking about, cutting through this forest area. And the proximity to the sawmill of this forested area is actually pretty handy if you're into logging, and it's a good big forest area too, so you'll get plenty of trees out of it if that's your thing. But yeah, this just has a very nice feel to it. Very, very homey if that's your thing. And back here in the southeast corner of the map, we've got, like I said, a nice big placeables area that you can take advantage of if you want to build up your own farm. I actually considered this particular sales area when I was doing my playthrough on this. Or placeables area, I should say. Just because I like this location in the corner. But yeah, we'll just run across the southern edge of the map so you can see exactly what's available down here. And none of these fields are perfectly flat either. You're not going to really run into a perfectly flat field on this map. It's got a lot going on out here. Looks like I ran into a dead end, but I think the Harv mobile will be able to sneak through. Another thing to keep in mind, Cazz always builds in plenty of headland room, so you shouldn't have too much trouble keeping your workers going on these. If you do, you know, a simple headland pass on a field is going to be enough to give them room to work. And also keep in mind there's plenty of money to be made on trees around the field edges too, so if you wanted to get rid of some of these trees, you could make some extra cash there. And this is one of our sales points. This is Honest Newall's Mill, right here on our left. Exactly what you would expect from a sale point. I just love these dirt roads that wind back in here. It's one of my favorite features of Cazz's maps. He does a lot of the dirt country road kind of thing. And I think it gives it a more natural feel. That's just my opinion, but you know, if you're in agricultural areas, especially around the US, I mean, I can't speak for other countries, but in the US it's always just loaded with dirt roads, back roads. I'm sure it's very much like that in other places. And you can see here, just it's really, really well set up. And we'll head up to the north. Now when I do map tours, I'm not hitting every fart and wrinkle. I know a lot of people go into extreme detail during their map tours, which is fine, but I feel like you folks really want to discover a lot of this stuff for yourself. For yourselves, I should say. So I kind of tend to do the broad strokes, just to give you an idea of what's at your disposal, and then you can go sort out exactly how you want this map to function for your personal playstyle. Just as we head up the western edge of the map, you see another massive placeables area down here. Another one of our sale point out there to the left. That's one of the port facilities, I believe. Another one just up here on our right. And these aren't nice, straight, you know, direct roads. Do a little bit of winding. I mean, it's not like it's difficult to get from point A to point B, because there are plenty of roads to take advantage of. But These meander just enough to give them a very natural feel. Okay, trucking right along. We're pretty much up at the northern, well, we are up at the northern edge of the map at this point. Things do flatten out just a little bit up here. And yep, another great thing about country roads, you can cut corners. Nobody's going to get in your way. And there's no traffic. Another sale point just up there to the north, probably one of the ranches. That would be my guess. And we've got just another nice placeable area right down here you can take advantage of. And there's plenty of space on this map too. I mean, it feels like a one-times map. I honestly think it is a one-times map, but the space has been utilized really, really well. Very well indeed. There's nothing wasted. And that's another thing I like about it, because if you are an agriculture country, as I'm sure you well know, you know, if there's a place you can plant a crop, somebody is taking advantage of that place to plant their crop. Things get packed in pretty tight. You can get a nice feel for the landscape sitting up here on this ridge, just looking down over. Got another sale point coming up just right here on the right. This is the It's All Legal mill. You could make of that whatever you like, but right here in this very old looking silo, it's all legal. It's all legal. Alright, we'll just cruise back down to the south just a little bit. Maybe cut across the main road back to the farm, and then we'll do a bit of a flyover. I say a bit of a flyover, we'll do a flyover. Right here directly in front of us is our barn, where we could easily sell straw, hay, whatever. This is going to be our main road back here. Animal dealer right here on the right. And this is our main road that will take us directly back to our farm. Now, everything has an old, weather-beaten look about it too, which I think is very nice. You know, it's not often you come across a brand new white painted, perfectly pristine building in real life. You know, these have that old, we've been using this building for a long time look to them, and I think that's an important aspect to add. Or I should say, it makes a lot of sense. Now, I never tried, but I suppose you could fill in this little stream running through the front of your farm. I always left it. I thought it created a little bit of atmosphere that you could take advantage of. All right. So that's going to wrap up the driving portion of Almost Farm. Let's jump out of the car and let's just fly around, give you the overhead, the bird's eye view. We'll just take a look around from the main farm. And we'll just start in the southeast and do a bit of a flyover. Yeah, from the air, it looked great from the ground. From the air, it's even better. Again, we've got our nice big forest areas, placeable areas, loads of fields, misshapen fields, plenty of square fields, lots of additional texture built into the landscape. You know, you might run into a spot in your field where you've got to go in and smooth it out just simply because you can't quite plant there as well as you would like. And this is our biogas plant, small one, easy tip in, easy digestate fill point. So, down here in the southwest corner, we've got Zeke's Creamy Dairy. Zeke's White and Creamy, I think that's what it's called. More forestry here. Nice coastal area. Oh, looks like we've got a whale. Very nice. Very nice shorefront. I like that a lot. Or shoreline, I should say. Very nice shoreline. If you're a Cazz fan, I've been playing Cazz maps for a while. His maps have been available on his Facebook page, TaylorMade Maps, and on Papa Smurf's Modding for quite some time. I mean, a very long time. But just now has he been transitioning them, getting them to Mod Hub, and giving access to some of the, to the console players. I know he's been working for at least 18 months trying to transition these over, and he finally got the job done, so kudos to Cazz for that, and kudos to the console players for having access to some brilliant map making. And as PC players who are familiar with Cazz's maps will know, these are quite a bit different. But at the same time, what you don't lose is this fantastic landscape. So, this is Almost a Farm by Cazz64. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on this particular map. I had a lot of fun playing on it. I really, really enjoyed the time I spent streaming on this map. But I think that's going to do it for this map tour of Almost a Farm. I very much appreciate you coming along for the ride. Until next time, take care.